Well, hello, you're welcome back to Gmodism. We're finally going to test the CloudGuys 70's Clip-Nuke. APS Clip-Nuke mass-driven system. You've seen it before in a previous video where we just caused some havoc with it. And we also found the fastest way to destroy a marauder. Available in shorts, if you care. You shouldn't watch shorts, watch proper videos. Anyways, I've set this thing up to target hot blocks and stuff like that. Then I've set up my little armor testing slab right here. So we are going to test different types of ammunition against it. And we also set up these little heat decoys here. So hopefully it should target the right spot. We'll have to say huge thanks to all the commissioned officers in the army of Gmodism who are supporting this channel monthly, and that helps me a lot. Especially, of course, to Commodore Owen, Captain Shuro, Commander Morden, Lieutenants Anto, Cravey, Druid, Camboretta, Flowers Dragon, Powered by Greed, Vincent Veritas, Rick Proll, and Scooby Rocks. And all our cadets, as well as the YouTube members. And if you're a YouTube member, you'll get early access to video releases before people otherwise do if I schedule them. Now, we're not going to use this thing, but if you want a useful testing for it, you can download this in the workshop. This is, from what I've heard, Borderwise's old testing fort. Thought it looked a little bit familiar. But our cloud guy has been building this little Clip-Nuke here, so we're going, of course, to test the different ammunitions here. So it's very simple, actually. We'll just do like this. And we're going to turn this thing on for 60 seconds. And then we'll basically wait for it to actually fire, which is nice. And we can also be very ready to pause the game. Oh my, it has launched. This is, of course, the hollow point, right? This is what we... what it's preloaded with. You see, we just completely remove this slab of armor. It's absolutely insane. So we're gonna unpause the game and just let it do its thing. The testing fortress is of course set up to deal with damage, but absolutely not this type of damage. It will die if it doesn't target the armor piece areas. If it targets anything else, it will be very sad. Right. Another volley coming in there, slamming into it just like that. I think hollow point is probably gonna be the best. I don't know, of course, but that's why we have these little empirical testing videos. Oh, damn! And yeah, if you want to talk some from the depth and get some help, you can join the Discord, of course. Oh man. You know what? I think we should add some... We might need to add some extra heat decoys. Now I can't interact with this because this is, of course... Oh, damn. Yeah, okay, this armor slab is completely destroyed naturally. This is point blank, so we shouldn't expect much else. But it's good to know for testing, when we have this little setup here, what other types of damages will concur when we are, yeah, having a normal system. So that dealt some damage. We'll need to repair this thing so the poor fortress doesn't die, which would be very sad. Oh no! Looks like it died anyways. So the battle music is being real dramatic, I feel like. Since we're not really in battle, but anyways, here is the shell, so we're gonna redesign this thing here. It has a hollow point, head, and a supercavitation base. I'm thinking, what if, like supercavitation, that can be nice, of course, but I'm thinking boosting the armor piercing value can be pretty reasonable for a hollow point shell. So we can see it would be 32. That should scale a little bit. So in case, now the supercavitation base, oh darn, I think it might not fit if we increase this a bit. Oh yeah, this should fit. It's a little bit too small here. If we change this to a sabot, we would boost the AP value. And I think they would exactly fit inside of here, right? So if we do like this, we do a little refill APS shells. Oh, damn. Look at that. Look at that. This is very interesting. So if you're wondering what happens now, CloudGuys stuffed in a whole point shell here, right? And then it's stuffed in the 100 millimeter part, which is the super cab. And the thing is that the super cavitation base has a length of just 100, and this solid warhead body has a length of 1 meter. So we basically wasted 90% of the length there, which is pretty significant. So basically, we could say it was only a hollow point head that actually dealt that damage there. This is very interesting. So now we're gonna see if we use this full area, will it change anyway, or will it be the same? Let's see they are connected to the same. Yeah, this should be connected to the same part here. So that's great. Okay. Also, I wonder, yeah, you are active there. I guess we should just add some more of these just to be a better safe than sorry when it comes to these parts, because we really, really want it to hit up here. And hopefully will not need to respawn this platform again. We'll have some in the middle of the armor as well. I'm gonna spend all this platform's power on this. All right, so that means we can basically prepare to launch this thing. I think we should, it doesn't take that long for it to like play out, so I think like 30 seconds should be more than enough. All right. Make sure we're not controlling anything. And wait for the action to commence. Impossibly fast as always, so here we have the first blast. Coming into... No! You're hitting the wrong area. That's not good. We're gonna do like this. Oh no! It's a lot of heavy armor. And we're going to instantly repair this thing. And hope that it chooses another place to aim. It probably doesn't. Oh no. Look at this. So we're desperately... Oh, it may not be that it tried to aim that way. It can just be it fired a little bit early. You know, this thing is a little bit trigger happy, together with anything in from the depth, basically. So it can be just that. Now, I'm wondering, no, or maybe it isn't. Well, damn it. What can we do? It provides damage. That it does. Right? I'll guess we just have to hope it wants to shoot at the right place now. Now I reloaded it and we got the sabots here. Oh yeah, we're gonna have an impact. Oh, all right. Damn. Taking screenshots because all of the excitement. We'll see if we fire again here or if this thing decided to go to... Oh yeah. Bam! You know what? I think this packs a lot more punch. I have no... I could not guess that the... I didn't shake that very properly, but I could absolutely not guess that there could be a much better way to set up this system. Damn. Yeah, it went through long ago, look, and it shoots even more. It just destroys this entire block. Oh, damn it. I think we'll need to... I don't know if this is fixable. I may have crashed the game now. We'll see. It somehow didn't crash the game, so that's nice. Now I'm thinking a little bit like this. If we just take this for comparison, railroll, look, we just max it out. It's of course much more damage than this because the speed is kind of infinite, and this is happens to be if the shell went around 1090 meters per second, and it goes much faster than that, mind that. So now we can see that with this, the thump damage would be 4,000. And if we added the sabot, you can see the thump damage times armor class, or armor pierce, I mean. Damn, shouldn't mix those together, but they're a little bit interchangeable. It's just on the dealing out and receiving side. 110, right? And if we change this to solid warhead body, we'll get to this thing, 7,000 damage there. Okay, that's like a lot more. And if we do sabot, 6,000 there, 1,800. So the sabot one may be actually better since it's going to increase the armor bonus there. So to deal with armor, which we're probably going to do, it might be better. But in raw damage, the solid warhead body, in this case, might actually be better. And in my railgun tests, I kind of find that solid warhead bodies do pretty well in hollow point systems. So yeah, this we're gonna try. Man, this system is so fun. Okay, we are updated the shells. So I think it's time to turn on the enemy, not that long. Oh, we'll need to be quick with pulsing. All right. Let the first shot fire. Bam! It's like instant. It's not the hit scan weapon, but it might as well be. Okay. So this was the damage there, all right? And now, why do you fire here? You're not supposed to fire. There are no hot blocks there. I don't quite agree with its targeting method. But I think from first blast, it really looked like we dealt some more damage with sabot. We'll need to test that a little bit more. We obviously have the damage up in the upper right corner, so that can be tested there. We can see it. And it depends a little bit on where we hit. I tried to set it up to fire the Clip-Nuke manually, but unfortunately it seems that after the update it kinda doesn't wanna do that really. Let's see if we can repair this thing before it despawns. I think it was pretty similar damage, to be honest. It's a little bit hard to test in this very volatile testing environment, you know? Yeah, we're alive, I think. Trying to fix the targeting here a little bit, I figured that if I add just a big bunch of hot blocks, like we have the engine power to spend here, so if we spend some 100,000 engine power to have hot blocks back here, maybe we'll have them a little bit more up here. Perhaps we'll have no issues where it decides to target. That's my thinking. Right. So I think we can compare a little bit later, but right now I felt that I really wanted to test a solid warhead body combined with just a regular heavy head. This is like the pretty good sandblaster setup, and this should deal some good damage. Like this should just go straight through. I don't expect this damage to be that dramatic, however. So yeah. There is that. I'm just gonna refill and turn on the enemy for maybe not that long. All right, we're ready. It's gonna fire. Oh, there it is. Right. Oh, excellent timing. Look at that. So here we have, oh, There we have it. Yeah, this is like the worst penetrator. Of course, it will just go through. It will just go through anything. This is like the Arcobalista Invictus on very hardcore steroids. Now the smoke shells looks like the looks like it like semi broke a little bit there. Can you like let me control you actually? What if I do like this then? Oh, maybe that works. Maybe I can manually aim it and let it shoot. Well, that's a good combination. Yeah, and now we can see it just goes straight through like that, obviously. But I felt like the damage potential is a little bit lackluster, seeing that it just drills a hole. And that's like something we can do in this game anyways. So yeah, I think we're gonna kill this platform here and yeah. Wait, what? I must say this feels a little bit medieval. Like we have to go here and use our explosive tool to just clean up sub-vehicles. Oh well. The funny thing is that this confetti isn't very scary anymore because it's kinda, you know, hurt. Now this does again. It does this, this does? Does this, yes. Anyways, just wanted to complain about the music being dramatic again, but we should test another shell here so the penetrator like that wasn't like that effectful. Now, I don't think it really does, but what if the fragmentations being fired from another vehicle in some kind of weird way? I don't know. I don't think it will be very cool actually, but what if the fragmentation basically inherited some of that stats for speed? Perhaps it could deal more damage. Now, my knowledge of From the Depth says that it won't actually matter, but I feel we have to try, because if it did, this will be the most scary weapon of them all. That is very certain. Right, let's unpause this thing. Oh, damn. All right, we'll have to go a little bit closer here. So here we have, it's like directly applied frag. Yeah, well, frag is a pretty scary damage type in general, and would probably be our best bet if we didn't have the mass driver utilities to rely on. But we can obviously see we lack much of the extreme damage that comes from a type of shell like this. So, you know, I wonder, like, what if we combine the hollow point capabilities with a chemical payload like that? I think it's worth to try. So we can probably use some hollow point and add frag and see if it's even better or something. I don't know. We'll see. Right, so here we have some hollow point. Frag warhead bodies. Yeah, so these should be reasonably scary, most likely. So if we control the weapons here, we're gonna switch on this thing and we're just gonna aim. Oh, bam! Now I think our gun broke a little bit there again. Oh yeah. It gets through pretty well. I do, however, kind of suspect that it did a little bit better damage before using just some good couple of sabot or heavy heads. Heavy heads with sabot warhead bodies, or no. Hollow point heads, of course, with sabot warhead bodies or solid warhead bodies. Yes. Now, this obviously doesn't work, but it would be a little bit funny if the gravitation ram could be added so we could transfer the speed of the like the kinetic energy of these shells to a vehicle we hit. We could basically send any battleship flying to space. But of course that's the recoil on the gun, not like the actual kinetic energy in the gun, so that won't work. It will be basically nothing since they're just ejected, so that probably doesn't count as, you know, recoil at all. But you know, it would be insane. That's what I'm trying to say. In any case, what we're going to set it up as next, I'm thinking a little bit that I'll know that heat shells, I'm pretty sure we do not have any type of kinetic component from heat shells. So we're going to build a regular just heat shell just to test, just to make sure that nothing interesting happens. Because I kind of suspect that it will be a little bit interesting if we instead do this with hash, because hash has a kinetic component that's very easy to forget even exists. So let us activate this thing. Oh, bam. Also, we want to pause this game here. Maybe I'll not need to control the guns here. Because it can be a little bit fun to see the... Yeah, there you can see. We're getting through all right. But we basically spam like serious amounts of heat there. And this is like a good tactic otherwise, but it's not for APS Clip-Nukes as you might imagine. It really isn't. I love that we like add vehicles and use them, and then we kind of shoot stuff. Yeah. So it's like the music is always the wrong music. A little bit funny. Let's use some medieval cleaning up tools. Explosions. Look at it. Here you can see that very old user interface again. Pretty fun. Anyways, inside of here you can see this little squash head. If I drag this down here, you can see in the lower right corner, you can see hash thump damage. You can see the thump damage is going up there. I was hoping that the thump damage would be higher if the shell has a higher speed. I don't quite think that's the case, but I've heard it can be the case. So that's what we're gonna try and do. Yeah. So I accidentally blew up the fortress a little bit here. And it's really interesting here. Look at it. If we click repair all, we kind of cause new explosions. My god, I don't quite understand this. I guess we're just gonna try and pretend this is not the thing. And we're just gonna aim the guns here and shoot or whatever. I think it's semi-broken. But it's pretty obvious that the hash doesn't really get more powerful with having higher speeds. Like, if it had that just entire cube would be pretty annihilated during the first blast, the front part due to the thump. So we're pretty sure that's not the thing. Well, good to know. Let me bring out my medieval cleaning tools. Thank you. One thing I don't really know, because I never tried it before, that is, what if we skip having a nose and just have a like solid warhead body? I wonder if it will be like armor piercing, or if it will be like, I don't know, just thump. I guess it's just gonna go straight through actually, but we're gonna see. This is a little bit interesting. All right. Repair all. Yeah, we added them there. This is gonna look so funny, I'll tell you that. We are in control, which is good. I think it's also good to... I want to see this in a little bit slower speeds. All right. We should be ready to fire in any second. Yeah, it's activated. Bam! Shells are being ejected. Bam! Look at that. So cool. I feel like we need to guide this little in the meantime. Oh, look at that. Alright, so will it penetrate or will it not? Oh, yeah. Well, that's a pretty effective penetrator, won't you say? Look at that. They look so stupid. Look at them. Ah, it's a little bit funny. Oh. Right. Like the most suboptimal, but also most insane penetrator shell we could imagine. Looks. Well, we're going through here. Right, so we can clearly see that we need one type of head, and that happens to be the hollow point. Because if we don't have the hollow point, we just can't get all the good things that we want with this type of cannon. It is absolutely the most reasonable thing to deal the most amount of damage with a mass driver system. However, the question begs us to say, is solid warhead bodies dealing more damage, or is sabot warhead bodies dealing more damage? So this we will check. I have some other interesting ideas which we're going to check very soon, but first we're gonna try the solid warhead body and see where that leads us. Got that there. Are we controlling? Now we are. There we go. Activate the guns. Now we're gonna keep track of the stats. We're gonna keep aim to the center here. It just went straight through. Okay, now it goes a little bit haywire there, but it just seems to. Oh, we can't see that damage. Of course we can't. All right. There is one thing we can do, but I fear the lag of this will cause. We'll try it. We're of course talking about damage debugging menu. A little bit uncertain how this will work when we are actually on a when we're actually using it against an enemy that is well, temporarily an enemy at least. Oh yeah, it works. Look at that thing. Yeah, of course it works. I know that because it yeah. Oh, up there in the upper right corner we can see the thump being recorded there. We're just gonna go back carefully and see. It looks like... Why are we not firing any more shells? Oh yeah, now we are. That's a lot of... And up there, of course, it's just gonna destroy everything. Obviously. Yeah, so that is indeed the damage. It still goes through a little bit there. One thing we could probably do is part this up in smaller shells. So that's something we're going to try a little bit. Well, here we can see on the target, we have some different stats. 7,000, 15,000 all over the place. So we can clear this. Now, it's a little bit... We can remember like some simple values like that, but it's not very useful, to be honest. We just clear that and we can spawn a new setup and compare. Right, so then we're there with the sabot warhead body instead. These look so funny. And we are controlling, which is nice. Guns at a ready. Activate, pause the game. Switch to slow motion. Continue to control the guns. And this is so fun. When they like shoot. Look at them. How can anyone take these seriously? They should though. They're not a joke. Oh, I'll give you that. Oh damn. Remember, I think it was 2.8 million or something in the upper right corner last time. So we'll see. Oh yeah, alright. I think it was something like that. You know, I think these may be more effective. Of course, it's a little bit of a spread type of question as well. But this is some pretty hardcore stuff, and now I have an even better idea how to make them even stronger actually, which we are definitely going to try. But I think sabot with the whole point may actually be best in this case. They have so much speed that we are getting more potential damage out of them when we're using the sabot. It seems it's getting close to, was it 10 million damage? It's pretty insane, this. And here in the damage debug menu, you can see here, if we look at these initial ones. Wow, okay. I think this is a lot more damage actually. Looks a little bit like the spread of these thump damage is a good bit higher, thanks to the added damage there. So the spread out of the damage is thus larger, it seems. Now this is just a simple test, so we can't say for certain, but right now, that's really what it feels like. Now I don't think this may be a super optimal setup, but it can be pretty interesting to check. So here we have heat as a secondary. So we have secondary heat on a hollow point shell. Now this is not usually a shell type I usually do, and the heat load is going to be pretty weak due to us not having the space for more explosive shells behind it. But we must of course try. Alright, let's unpause. Bam! Right, so what's happening over there? We can see we have the thump damage applied there, and onto that we automatically get a lot of those heats. Bam! Very interesting. Another one. No, now we are getting some confused shells. Huh. I think it may have broken a little bit. Right, so we're gonna try that again. Let it fire some rounds with our heat and see how it does. Now it would be nice if we could still like lock on this little shoot point like we could before. That's one thing that would be nice with the cameras. Anyways, how are you getting used to the new camera update? That I want to know. Some people really like it and some people really don't. If I should make a tutorial about that, a little bit quick tutorial, please do tell me so in the comments. What's with this thing now? It wants to break. No, are we getting the wrong shells? It seems it doesn't like these type of payloads. I just realized, however, that we should probably, like, since we did that kinetic test, now we set up some better like controls and stuff, so we can more reliably predict exactly where we shoot. So I felt it's quite necessary to test the hollow point damage with the like stock ammunition it had as well. 6 million? Oh yeah, we almost got up to, it was like 8-10 million. It seems to vary a little bit, but we can visually see that the damage was more spread out before, and that's of course due to the sabot addition warhead that makes the spread out of that gun's damage for the thump a little bit more potent, basically. Yes. We're going to do a extra little comparison test there. So I spawned the platform again. And just so you know, every time we shoot a new ammo type, the platform need to be like respawned and stuff. So there is that. Right. 2 million like that. Now we broke a little bit there, but whatever. Huh. The difference seems much less this time. I think it's a little bit more spread out, especially against the heavy armor stuff, but yeah. Maybe it doesn't matter that much. I'm sure CloudGuys did a lot of testing, but the theoretical potential damage should be much increased when we add that additional shell as well. And if we need to shoot at stuff underwater, well, then we need a super cab, but thinking of that, we can probably not shoot things underwater with this, since it has a little bit of an aiming problem. When it aims too much up or down, it tends to dramatically die a little bit. Maybe something we can fix sometime. But now to my additional ideas. So here we're having a lot of gauge increasers, right? Now we need to set this a little bit here. But basically, if we go in here to this APS and we set the desired gauge to something lower, we can make some more narrower shells. I don't usually think about these things, but I think most things in From the Depths is pretty like scalable. So let's say this was 100mm, a good gauge for a Civs cannon. And then we set this up to instead use a little new shell here. Or we're gonna edit this shell anyways. So since this is 2 for 500, we should be able to have times 5. So we should have a 10-part block. And that would most likely be likely to fit here right in a 100mm. Yeah, exactly. It's very scalable and proper like that. So now we can have a whole point head here, of course. And now we can have some sabot warhead bodies. Now I don't think we'll need all that many sabots like this, but just for the sake of testing, it should not make it worse, I suppose. It's usual that we mix them somehow with some solid warhead bodies and some sabot warhead bodies. But whatever, I think this will be absolutely fine. Now we'll just need to fix these settings for the firing piece here. So I'm just going to change all of them to 100 so that we can test this. Right, so we added all that. This, however, means that we might run into a slight little problem. And that is, you can see the amount of shells here. It's very possible we crashed the game. It can only render a certain amount of shells too. So it is possible we'll need to go into the build menu here. Where is it? It's under config, is it not? I never changed these settings myself. I don't think it's... I like to keep them pretty stock. But yeah, here under miscellaneous. We have this little factor here. We can have APS projectile limit. Oh no, restart required. Whatever. Don't mind that. But if you want to have more shells than you should probably have and possibly lag your game very much, you're very welcome to add that there. We'll of course need to save this variant, so we don't need to set it up each time. This is gonna be pretty interesting. All right, are we ready? Oh! We can never be ready for this. All right. Slow motion makes us ready. Look at that. Like, look at these little shells coming in here. Wherever they are. Oh. This is so scary. Look at them. Ow. There are just so many of them. Yeah. This is so scary. Is it done? Does it have more shells to come with? No, it's probably done. It's so fast. Oh. Yeah, okay, never mind. So yeah, I feel the spread here. We have a type of shotgun situation there. Oh damn, it's not done. Never mind. Man, that's some... This might be even scarier. Possibly. So these are hollow points, right? But when they are spread out like this, if we shoot at a really big target, I think it could be beneficial to have them like sabot shells instead, perhaps. Maybe one of them won't penetrate all the way through, or maybe they'll do. But it would be a little bit funny to have a EMP delivery system just EMPing everything all over the place all at once. We'll need a bigger target to test against, of course. And I feel like the Yamato we are refitting, the Martin Sitopans Ultra Yamato we're refitting, it's a 10 million ship. It's pretty beefy. I think it will be a good thing to test this against, since it's so large. We can spawn it a little bit further away and see some spread, basically. We're just gonna casually add a little simulator, a little enemy simulator here. Oh my lord. All right. It's set up here. So our APS Clip-Nuke decided to fire a little bit already, which is obviously always annoying and unexpected. So let's unpause this game here. Oh man. What's happening? Really spread it. I think we broke it somehow. Right. Another one has spawned. Oh no. It fires so quickly too. Right, so we're trying to keep track exactly on how much damage it deals. It just goes straight through there. I'm not even entirely super sure what this thing is loaded with. Because this thing, is this really... Oh yeah, that's our sabot hold points, alright. Perhaps we should be controlling this vehicle ourselves. And aiming it at the, well, approximate middle. Now we're shooting the smokes again. If it messes up the first shots, it gets a little bit sad. Right, so we spawned it much further away, and hopefully this will now be the thing we need. So we're gonna activate this little thing here, and we're going to wait for the destruction to come in. Oh, we may also want to slow down game speed a little bit, so we actually can see what happens. Let's see here. Man, it just wanted to not fire for the longest amount of time. And now it just suddenly did. Let's see here. If we're able to. And now it shoots weird stuff again. I don't know if it gets more janky or if it just simply gets more laggy when we have too many shells like this. Anyways, I think we should try and see if we can blast this one more time successfully, and if not, I'll just set up my little EMP craziness idea. Right, we're on. No? I thought, looks like we actually need to make it fire itself. It doesn't want to be managed, it looks like. It's very allergic to being managed. Yeah, like see, now it works. If it can aim itself, I think there is some ACB that's trying to do some cool stuff, probably making sure it doesn't mess up or something like that. Definitely. Most likely it's we should probably set it up in another way. Wait a second. We'll just add a permanent enemy ship like this. And we're going to load the 100mm mass-driven here. And we're just gonna let it do its own thing. And hopefully it will be able to target and shoot all by itself. Or not. Oh lord, I spawned this on the enemy faction too, that's the problem. Yeah, there we are. This works now. So, yes. Oh god. I have a slight feeling it's gonna botched up anyways, but let us optimistically try anyways. We kind of try to target these rods from just so far away. It's... Oh, why are we trying to shoot up here? That doesn't make any sense. So I guess we'll need to try and repair this thing. I guess there are some decoys up there, and we set it to aim at hot blocks. Yeah, so that's not like a mystery. Getting a haircut, are we? Oh, we're just setting it to be a cluster instead. It sounds so weird. All right. It's just firing just before you're like ready for it. It's always takes me aback. And we're loading one, I think. Takes a few seconds for it to get some detection as well. And the first couple of blasts tend to be a little bit inaccurate, but you can see the spread is pretty nice when we're getting away a bit there. But man, what are we even shooting at? Is it shooting? It's just silly. Like, I think it's considering that we need to pay a little bit for... Yeah, it can't be worth it. So now we try to guide this thing at a reasonable, like, aim point. Perhaps... Oh, no, it just shoots weird things. When we tend to control it ourselves, it does some weird stuff. So yeah, I kind of suspect that the 500mm ones are a little bit more damage dealing, just because that they are more spread out. This kind of comes in a closer cluster, and it feels like a lot of the damage is kind of being dealt. Oh damn, now we get some lag spikes. It's kind of being dealt in a suboptimal way. I shouldn't have tried and aimed it, but we can see we did some marks. So load this one here again. And sorry about the lag, but it's these weapons are banned for a reason. So we can see just a lot of blocks just disappear there. I think each shot counts more, even though smaller shells would probably technically have a larger potential. But we're gonna try something else. So I don't quite know if this is any good idea or not, but what if we have an armor-piercing head? Then we have a lot of EMP inside of here. Then we have a little fuse, maybe a penetration depth fuse, or some, I don't know, some meters. And then we can probably have a supercavitation base. Now we'll need to pause this game a little bit. And I think this could be an interesting setup. So we're going to refill. So we have our new EMP spreaders there. I will not control the cannon because it tends to not work very well when I do. So I'll just hope it wants to fire from this distance. It is pretty far away, and I do suspect that our fail-safes may be hindering us here from shooting a little bit. I don't think this... Yeah, I think it chooses a too low aiming point, basically. We'll see here, but hopefully this will spread out and deal some damage in terms of EMP all over the place. Ladies and gentlemen, it started to react. Bam! Here we have the shells. They're here. This is terrifying. Oh my lord, this is terrifying. I'm gonna take a screenshot of that later and use it for the thumbnail, I think. Alright. It completely aims at a completely messed up place. Looks like the aim point is not quite up to date right now. Right, so we managed to get some type of hit there by just janking some shells into existence, by doing some undescript repair all fix whatever stuff, and hope for the best. Right, so they just melt through here. We can see that the damage is just too spread out, so it's really inefficient. And the real big problem with these is that they are kind of too concentrated. They just won't spread out at all. So if we just fix this again, you can see that it wants to like aim to some reasonable point, but they just don't spread out enough. That's kind of an issue. We'll need more shotgun spread for this to be effective. I think we can conclude that the 1000 needles method here is just not an optimal way to do it. I do suspect that 250mm might be a pretty good sweet spot with not too many, not too few, and a lot of damage. But I won't do that. I won't test that because I like these 500mm ones. They're just... I also kind of feel a little bit like the mass driver system is laggy enough as it is, and I don't feel like I want to add extra lag just for the sake of it. So I think 500mm will be great. There is already too many things spawned at once anyways, so yeah. If we're gonna have it on a usable system, I feel this is a pretty good place to have. Anyhow, I do want to see a little bit here with the regular mass driver system. If we can just see the approximate damage dealt to the amateur here with the old shell design, we're gonna let the ship, the platform target and everything itself, which it doesn't do very well. Honestly, I kind of think that to be effective, I think this gun needs a slower firing speed because I don't think it can re-aim that fast. Oh wait, you know what? One sec. We're gonna set the max aiming time to clusters of block and 1 for the time of being, and hopefully that solves the issue. All right. Also, I think we're gonna do some slow motion. Look at that. Oh, there we are. Ooh, nice hit. That dealt some damage. Next coming in there. And another volley. Now we're starting to get some jank shells. It's smoke. Yeah, well, if we turn up on our HUD again, it's of course good damage. It's more spread out now, so it's I suppose it's better. But I think if we were gonna use and develop this thing to a more refined turret and a finished turret with, you know, everything, I think possibly we should make it shoot a little bit slower, actually. CloudGuy did a great job at making this fire at insane speeds, but honestly, that's not what we want right now. We're like stressfully trying to fix this thing here before it fires. Come on. The last one I destroyed by accidentally trying to click on it to reload it, except I didn't kind of have, you know, the right menu, so I accidentally sent a big explosion on it instead, which is of course less optimal. Right, look at that. We're getting an aiming point. Maybe we're changing aiming. What the hell are we doing here? First shot is away. Bam. Okay. All right. 2 million. I think this... Now, again, I must say this is not the most reliable test like this, because it's really hard to test a variable. It has too many variables, but we're already up to 6 million damage. Yeah, the Sabot one seems to be the best addition. That's probably, of course, because we're dealing with armor on the outside. If this was a big wooden block, the solid warhead body would probably make more sense than the Sabot warhead body as an addition. But let us just turn it into a lag fest. I think we'll need some slower... Okay, this is like not the proper way to do it here, but at least we get some shells away. Here they come. Missed. No. I guess our aiming point is getting a little bit tired, which is absolutely fine. The issue is that we set it to aim at blocks above water, and now we are not having a super cavitation round, so that's the better way to do it. But of course, we're suffering some damage here by removing that fuse that lets us fire underwater. Well, and with that, I will just say thanks a lot for watching. This is your host, Eric of Gmodism, and we're signing out from this little video. Our series will continue with multiple different types of videos. You should definitely come and watch that. See you next time. This is your host, Eric of Gmodism, and we're signing out. Subscribe and like.